Hello, hello, hello. It's me again. so, two things first. Forgive the glasses glare. Today was not a contacts type of day. It's pretty chilly here. And yeah, so sorry, no contacts. um, also, if you hear any, well, I guess three things. Hear any vibrations during this? It is my phone going off. Today just happens to be my birthday. Yay! And I am getting a ton of messages, which I'm not complaining about because, they're thinking of me on a day and they're replying. So I'm grateful. And if any of you see this before I reply, thank you very much. Love you, love you, love you. Heart. See, my generation, we still do hearts like this. All that other, I'm not even gonna try. And I forgot what the other thing was. Okay, yeah. So glasses glare, phone vibrations, and yeah, that's it. And it's already been a minute, so let's get into it. So last video I posted, I shared my survivorship story, right? Which is awesome. Yay! We love it. We love it. And when I said the 14 years, as far as that's how long I, went through with as far as the survivorship part, or simply being in remission, and that's where you no longer have to get chemotherapy. But there are other things that you still have to deal with and take medicines for. So today, we're going to focus on diabetes, type 1 and 2, because I was both during treatment and in remission, during remission. And yeah, if I look away, it's a notification. Sorry. So yeah, type 1 and type 2, and how I pretty much had to change my entire diet, things I've ate and drank for years that I could no longer do. And it's like, if I could, some things they immediately say, all right, you can't have this, 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 and this, right? And there are other things where it's like, yeah, you can have this, but know that if you have this, then you're gonna have to take this much medicine, or you do this, you're gonna take this much. Oh, you do this combo, you're gonna have to take this combo of medicine. So it was just all these different stipulations. And of course, because at the time I'm thinking, well, I'm depressed, I'm not in a state where I could do any of the things I was doing or used to be able to do. And it was just like I was in this life, and once I got sick, it just kind of ripped everything away. So for a minute, I really felt like food was all I had. Like, real talk. Like, that was where my joy came from. So I was just like, no, I'm not giving that up. What do I have to take? Whatever, I'm in here, da da da. That was my attitude at the time about it, right? And there are a lot, I'd say, side note of a side note. There are lots of different things I had to deal with, lots of different things I encountered as far as my health goes. And diabetes is it's one part of many, many, many parts. That's why I said 14 years of remission. There are tons of different things that I had to deal with health-wise. And yeah, what made me want to discuss this one, I have a close friend, and she's type 1, and her and I are once I shared this part of my story with her, she's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, well, could you like help, like what did you do? So I am, we're working on what she eats and just trading different things, because I told her, I was like, well, you could just go cold turkey. And she's just like, I said, yeah, exactly. I said, you could, you didn't have to, but that is an option. But if that's too straight to it, then there's other options. I know for me, at first it was more like a tiptoe. It's like, oh, I'll do this, I'll do this, okay, I'll do this, I'll do this. But there was a turning point for me where I eventually just went cold turkey. So that turning point, so we're gonna get into today, right? Like, this is a lesson. It's a testimony. Let me make that super clear. And even with the diet changes, God still gets all the glory because it's it's him. It's big G, not little G. You know what I mean? And I'm sure, me, being steadfast and, changing some things up, helped, of course. But ultimately, it is God. He gets all the glory. This is my testimony, but it's a testimony that is through me for Him, if that makes sense. So the day, or I'll say the weekend, where I had, I decided to just really just go cold turkey with it. And, at this point, I'm doing the insulin shots. I can't think of all the different medicines right now. I probably should have had a list of that. I could always just add it to the description of this video. Metformin was a big one, and anyone who knows anyone with diabetes, metformin is, yeah, that. And that is not a pill that you can stop cold turkey, or at least for me. I'll say what it is for me because I am not a medical professional. I'm simply sharing what I did and or what happened to me. So make that super clear. Not a doctor, not a nurse. No, I don't want to be either. So yeah, just sharing the testimony and, just letting us know that, yes, God is amazing and He is still healing people very much. And I truly, I don't believe that these sicknesses that we get are set in stone. And I don't even say that from a high and mighty place. I say that because God is real. Very, very, very real. And He has shown me time and time again, you do it, you seek me. Seek me. Seek ye first, and He has just shown up and shown out in ways that I could have never imagined. Things that even still, if I sit and try to think about it, it won't make sense. It's that good old God math, okay? Hashtag God math. I love that. No, that's not mine. It's not. I would love for it to be. I'm not the originator of the God math. I want to say I got that from Chandler Moore and or Stephen Furtick. I've heard both of them say it. So, and I know they write songs together and stuff. So, got it from them. But yes, God math is where it don't make no sense, and it's not necessarily supposed to us. Our job is to praise. We're made to praise and worship. So like, go. That's what we're gonna do. But anywho, back to the story. So there's one particular morning. And everybody was at work. Sometimes, like I said, I haven't given myself the insulin shots at this point. You have the little vial of the clear medicine. Like I said, I have to find out the actual names of these because I just, at this point, metformin, that always sticks out because that pill is, oh my goodness, it's a big pill. And yeah, you had to take it all at once, so you had to learn. And every pill in the hospital, or every pill that they had, there's a liquid form to it, and you think, oh, that's great. It's not great. It's not great. You think it's easier? Because I could not take pills. Oh man, no. But some Skittles, what? Oh, quick. Skittles on it. Any candy I could do. But when I tell you, yeah, no. So the liquids, the way it would leave a taste in your mouth, no matter how many times you brush your teeth, no matter how much mouthwash you use, it would stay. And don't let it get in the grooves of your teeth. Then you'll taste it all throughout the day, which is wild. Because what? Why am I tasting you all day? No. Okay, anyway, I've been talking for 9 minutes. Hopefully I've said something worthwhile, because who knows at this point, besides praising God. So back to the story. So there was a morning where I was staying at my aunt's house at this time. My mom and I were there, and my aunt is a nurse. My mom is not, but in her mind she is. Shout out to Mom. Love you, girl. after me, she's just like, oh, we know some things, which is true. You do. After going through a stint in the hospital the way we did, you learn some things for sure. So, yeah, but it was one of those mornings. I had already been giving myself my own insulin shots, and I knew how to put it in the vials and how you have to. I want to say the clear one. There are some moments where the cloudy one had to go before the clear, and if you did it wrong, then you had to just like nix it. It was done. You had to throw that syringe out, or if anything touched anything that wasn't, it was done, contaminated, throw it out. Insulin is not cheap. Insulin is not cheap. The syringes aren't cheap, but they're cheaper than the actual medicine. Obviously, right? Because like, how much are you putting it in? All this new stuff now that you can just like put on your arm and all that. I was like, man, if I would have had that back in the day. But also, if I would have had it like that back in the day, if it would have been, that easy, then maybe my story, maybe my testimony would be different. Because and that'll make more sense once I actually get to it. So one particular morning, Aunt was already at work. None of my cousins were home, and my mom had already gone to work. Because like I said, I had been giving myself the insulin shots. So my mom had finally gotten comfortable enough to be like, all right, I'll just go into work. I don't have to give it to you. I don't have to distribute it to you. And my aunt's like, yeah, all right, we don't have to do this, blah, blah, blah. It was good. At that point, I had done it. So I was like, all right, this is cool. I can do it. Mind you, just because I had done it before didn't mean I liked it, but I could get it done because I knew that I had a certain window of time to get it done. And I mean, there's a window to get it done. And I had to do that first and then eat. So medicine first, then eat. It's like the medicine, at least for me, my dosage was to bring my glucose and my sugar levels down. So when I ate, it would bring it back up, but bring it to a neutral, normal level. Whereas, someone with my body type, or with just as far as my sugar numbers go, or and stuff like that, where it would just regulate and it would be normal, and not so much as where, I get up and eat something immediately before I take the medicine, and then my sugar levels shoot up, and then I go into shock, and yeah, it's just, yeah. And yes, it has happened before. I can probably go into detail on that in one of these other videos. But, 12 minutes, okay. Get to it, Nin. All right. Sorry, anticipation's crazy, right? Not intentional. I'm just a tangent. Anywho, so, morning. Been giving myself the insulin shots, and they say that, you can't, like, do it in your arm or whatever. You're supposed to do it in your upper thigh or your stomach. And I have been doing both of those kind of intermittently. It's just, whatever. And I noticed that the stomach, it hurt a little less. So I started aiming more for the stomach, either right in the center. Just the fatty part of the stomach is what they say do. And it's like, well, if your whole stomach is... Anyway. The fatty part of your stomach. Yeah, okay. So this particular morning, I'm up. I see that my breakfast is ready. I'm just like, cool. I have been trying to remember for the life of me what that breakfast was, and I cannot remember. I just can't. And I was like, was it eggs? Was it bread? Like, what was it? I know it was something that I was really excited to eat, but that could also be because of the steroid therapy I was on, And even so, I'm thinking like, anyway, I'm about to get into another tangent. Another story for another day, right? Like I said, 14 years, there's tons of things to ultimately give God the glory, right? So sitting there, my plate is ready for me to go in. I have my little medicine on the table and everything. So, I do the vials, I get it in the syringe, and I go, and people have done insulin, so you go, you hold your little fat. I don't got the fat no more, but no. So you go, you go, and you like pinch your stomach, take the syringe, and you're supposed to just, not even a slow joint. You just boop, I want to say the insulin syringes were like maybe that long. Yeah, probably that long with a needle, but that long. And I did it, and it didn't go in. Ouch! I was like, oh. Now, of course, like I said earlier, now it's done. Now that syringe is officially tainted. I can't re-stick it somewhere. It's over. It's done. Now, I don't know if other people could do that, but I know I was instructed not to do that. Maybe because I had a blood cancer at the time, and I was, it was still kind of active treatment. I say kind of, right? First, it went from me having to get chemotherapy intravenous, and then which is, IV through your vein, and the other kind of was just, oral, just chemotherapy pills by mouth. So when that one stopped, then I had the ones for mouth, and then steroids and that whole thing, just the whole regime that I had a part of my my daily pills, right? So tried to stick it, didn't go in, so I was like, great, crap, there goes that. So that syringe was done, and all the very expensive medicine inside. So I get another one, do it again, like, all right, try another spot. Boop, nothing. Ouch. It also did not go in. And I'm like, what is going on? It's like, what has my skin gotten extra hard all of a sudden? What is actually occurring here? What's going on? And mind you, this is happening. I'm looking at the time now. As I said, I already have a window. I want to get this medicine in my system, and the window is closing. It's getting closer, getting very, very, very close. So, after that second one, and I see the time, I'm getting nervous. I was like, oh crap, So I'm thinking now, I was like, do I want to even take like a piece of whatever I had? Something tells me I may have had maybe either a slice of bread or an eggs, and maybe some type of meat on there. I don't know. It was something I was really excited to eat, I'll tell you that. But I can't get a clear shot on what it was. But anyway, so I get the third vial, the third syringe, and I'm putting the medicine in there, and I was like, okay, oh my gosh, and I'm looking at my phone. I have the timer going on, and I see the clock on the wall, good old analog clocks on the wall, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm gonna mess this up. And and my aunt, I said she's a nurse. Now she works close, like her job isn't far. And when I say isn't far, maybe she's 10-15 minutes. She speeds, maybe 20 with traffic, maybe. But she's not super duper far. And it was more so one of those, if you can't do it, just call me and I'll come on like a lunch break or see if I can, her job knew that her niece that was dealing with cancer lived with her. So they, they weren't tripping too heavy on it. Just go distribute something and then come back. Whereas my mom worked, much further away. And, that was really it as far as the people that could distribute the medicine to me besides myself. My mom was my caretaker, and, my aunt was backup. So I'm over here panicking. Third syringe. I was like, okay, I gotta do this. I do it again, and it doesn't work. This time I'm like, okay, let me go back to my thigh or something, and it didn't work. And I'm just like, ow. And before I picked it up, because anytime there's like blood involved, if you take it away from the skin, it's done, it's over. It's a wrap. You gotta toss it, right? So this one, I was like, dang, I don't want to take it from my skin. So I tried to like stab it a little bit, and it would not go in. It hurts. Oh my gosh, it hurts so bad. For such a skinny needle, it hurts so bad. And I tossed it again, and then I'm sitting there, I'm panicking. I start crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, why is this happening? Da, da, da. And I don't believe I cried out to God. I don't believe I did. I don't remember doing that exactly. I just remember sitting there like, oh my gosh, my time is running out. And all I kept thinking of is, oh man, there's nobody here. About to go into this sugar shock. That's what I used to call them. There's a medical term, but pretty much, you know, your sugar levels get too high, and yeah, like then you have to go to the emergency room, and then you have to be regulated. And I've had that happen before, and it sucks. And I really didn't want to do that. I didn't want it to be actually, no, at this time it would have dropped. I want to say it would have dropped and got too low. It would have got too low, and that's not good either, because it'll get really low. I've had it get so low sometimes where, you know, I couldn't really speak, and there's really a term for that. Forgive me for not knowing the exact term, but it just, me knowing that that's happened, I've had it go too high before and had a problem, and they had to like stuff me with the sweetest thing. Just imagine drinking orange juice and having to eat a Snickers bar. Ew, gross. That's like pregnancy cravings type stuff. But just to get my sugar at a level so I wouldn't go into like I don't even know what it's called, something shock. But I just call it a sugar shock because of dealing with your sugar levels. So I just started, yeah, layman's terms for everything, sugar shock. But that can go high or low. And at this particular point, since this would be my first meal of the day that's supposed to regulate it, it would just go low. And I'm, you know, I'm getting there, and I'm slowly but surely feeling weaker. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And, you know, so I'm crying, I panic, and I'm just like, ugh. Something comes over me. I feel like now I could say, I'm just like, it had to be the Holy Spirit. It had to be the Holy Spirit. It had to. Because something comes over me, and I don't get it completely together. You know, still tears in my face, but I go and I get it, and I make it again, the syringe. Mind you, the medicine is so low. So if it didn't work for this one, I was just like, great. Now I have to call 911 and have everybody panic, everybody freak out, because now I'm going to go in the hospital, you know, and stay overnight again, or a couple nights or a week or whatever. So I get it. I'm making it up, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I'm just like, please let this work. I'm like, please let this work. So I get it, and I go back to my stomach. I do the little stab, and it doesn't go in again, but I don't pull it directly out. I turn my head this way, and I take my hand, and I do this really hard, and it went in, and I was like, and I'm like crying, and I, you know, do the syringe and let the medicine get in, and I get there, and I let it, you know, linger a little bit, and then I pull it back out, and I sit it on the table, and I'm like, you know, I'm thankful, I'm panicking, I'm still just, you know, crying a little bit. And that medicine worked fast. It's fast, okay? So you put that medicine in, and I'm like, oh man. So I immediately feel myself getting like lower. It's just because it's supposed to bring it down, and then, you know, with all the food you're eating, depending on how much starch and sugars are in it, like I said, it brings it back up. Then you're regulated, and you're good to go. So I'm like crying and eating. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I can't believe that. And I'm looking at these syringes, you know, a little, you know, blood over here with the napkin that I've cleaned myself off with. And I just remember thinking at that moment as I'm eating and crying, you know, I'm pretty sure there was a biscuit involved. There was some bread for sure. And I'm sitting there, and I was just like, you know what? All of this over food? Like all of this over food. All of this over food, this stress. And I said, yeah, I can't do this again. I get emotional now thinking about it, because it's just, I don't know if you've ever been in a do or die moment, and it's just like, if you want to eat like this is what you got to do. And it may not always work sometimes. You may not always have somebody there to distribute it for you. So if you're going to choose food or continue to choose this, you're going to continue to idolize this food, because this is what you want to do. This is your outcome. And, you know, I'm just sitting there like, yeah, no, I can't do it. I was like, I literally cannot do it. Even though I was finished eating, I just kind of sat there, and I usually go back up to the room and like lay down or on the couch or something, and I just sat there, I sat there and just was like, wow, couldn't believe it. I Now I'm trying to think, how long did I sit there, and I don't know. But I remember somebody coming home, excuse me, and they see me sitting there, and I'm just like, they're like, hey, how are you? I said, I've been better, or something, or they saw that I was crying. I have no idea. That's the part where it gets so hazy, but that moment, in that moment, that I remember that vividly, vividly, because it was a turning point, and I couldn't do it anymore. So we went to the doctor the next day. Well, when my mom finally got home, I told her, I said, so I'm thinking I'm gonna change my diet. And she's like, yeah, we've already started. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna change everything. She's like, well, you're gonna give up da 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 da. So I love Italian food. It's my favorite type of food. And of course, all my diabetics, pre-diabetes peeps know, yeah, the worst food you could eat, possibly. You need the pasta, the rice, the sauces, and everything. Of course, I'm thinking about it now, and it's like, But yeah, at that time, nope. And I love pizza. I still love pizza. Still, top 5 favorite foods, if not numero uno, right? And I just, I couldn't. My mom's like, what? You willing to give that up? She's like, oh, you want to give up pizza? I said, yeah. I said, I don't want to. I said, but I am. I said, I have to. I said, I cannot do it. Because I didn't tell her. I feel like I waited to tell her when I got home, when she got home, what happened. Because if I would have told her over the phone, then she'd be trying to leave work. I'm like, girl, it's already fixed. I was like, we're good now. But it was hard. And, I remember I wasn't even me. I feel like I wasn't even me at that point, because this person who was afraid of shots, well, until the hospital switched that up, because there's needles everywhere. You're getting poked, prodded some type of way. So, right. And to literally have to look away, and I mean, I didn't hit it lightly, like a little tap. No, I still looking like, how did I do that? Was that really me? I don't even know. Baby, when I tell you, Holy Spirit was present. God was like, all right, she's about to give up. Go help her. Or like my encompassing angels. Somebody was around. Okay? Cause in that moment, the fact that that even worked, or it happened, no. And it was hard. I still can't believe it. It's like, you're a needle. Your whole job is to pierce things. That's what you do. That is your main property, to pierce. Pierce and distribute. Pierce, distribute. That's your job. It is your job. So, and like I said, the medicine that's supposed to last, had to get more of that. But it just, that moment just really showed me, what, food, it can be looked at, or it can be seen as something pleasurable. I see how people just like, oh, when I eat food, it makes me feel this and this, on shows like My 600-Pound Life and some of those other TLC shows. And you know what, people just be like, why are they like that? How is this and that? And I get it. I'm not saying I agree, but I was like, I get it, because once upon a time, food was, I felt like that was the only joy I had, Of course, now, and now at this age, at this level of it, my paradigm is different in regards to that. We're just like, yeah, no, food is one of the many joys of life. The fact that you've risen again one more day, okay, God's not done with you. You're able to blink. You're able to breathe on your own. You're not in a breathing tube anymore. You're not this anymore. And like I said, there's so many different stages I went through in the hospital, even during remission, where it's just like, there's so much to be to be not prideful. There's so much to be thankful for. Yet you are honing in on food like this is the only thing that matters. And I'm speaking from my own point of view, because that's where I had it. I had it very, very high. So much so I was willing to deal with these crazy sugar spikes. And after that, I said, yeah, nah, no mas. I was like, no. I was like, I can't do that again. And I explained it to her. And as I was explaining it to my mom, while we're in the hospital at this point, we're at a doctor's appointment, and I'm explaining it to them. I was like, I can't do it. I said, whatever I need to do, I said, I have to change it. I gotta switch it up. I said, I can't do that again. I said, if you only knew how scary that was. And I was just like, thank God it finally worked. Of course, now I know it's because God was just like, yeah, baby's about to quit. Send help. Like, go help her out. Yeah. All right, step in. Step in. Thank you, Lord. So good. And yeah, so that was a game changer for me. I could not go through that again. Like, what? 3 syringes? 3 medicine waste and all that. I'm thinking of like the money wasted, that medicine, all of this, because I didn't want to give up bread, pasta. Like, what? With all these different alternatives, So yeah, mom's and her her internet, because man, oh man, when I say we're not going to do that, they sent in the nutritionist again. Mind you, when they first sent the nutritionist in, like way back before, when we found out that diabetes was going to be a part of this, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, the steroids, they may induce this, and then it happened, and it's like, oh, we warned you. It's like, sorry, but this is how you take care of this. I'm like, oh, you just changed your diet. And I was like, they changed what? My diet. You want to give up what? Pizza? Absolutely not. Sorry. Next. It's like, oh, you can still eat it, but moderation. I was like, all that jazz. Yep. And I wasn't rude to her by any means, but I essentially disregarded a lot of what she said. I was like, I'm not changing. For what? Change my food for what? This is what the medicine's gonna do. This is what's supposed to help. This medicine helps regulate it, right? Okay, so change for what? And it's such a, and this is not an insult to anyone else. This is me talking to me, right? It's such an ignorant way to look at it. Like, you have a chance to explore new foods, try new things, and you're gonna cut it all off just because, oh, well, there's a medicine that does that. Extremely ignorant on my part, and I'm just thankful God did not let me. I'm sure after a couple of weeks, he's like, oh, okay. He's like, nah, man, that third one ain't gonna work either. Nope. He's like, all right, she about to give up. Go ahead and step in. It's like, step in, cause yeah, and not saying that God is vengeful or anything, but he will certainly allow things to happen so we will learn from them. They always say, if God is sovereign, and I certainly, not even say, oh, I believe he is. No, I know he is, because he's shown me daily. So, him being sovereign, there's a reason for it. There's a reason. Just like he knew that, he knew he was going to heal me. I didn't know it was going to, I don't know. He knew. The only one that knows our tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And he knew I would meet somebody dealing with that and didn't know where to begin. Even if it's that far in advance, he knows. He knew. He's like, I'm gonna have to allow something to get bad before it gets better. And even while the bad or the negative was happening, he's still there, still watching out, still protecting and being protective. But there's certainly some things that God will allow to happen to teach us. He will. And think of, I guess for those that have kids, right? Think of your child doing something, and it's just like you want them to learn, and what do? You don't necessarily have to chastise, but Might put a little rod to the behind, you know, or speak to them sternly and let them know this isn't right. Do better next time, you know, things like that. I mean, God, He's our Father. So, same thing, same difference, different situations, different levels, but ultimately, a father who loves his children and wants the best for them. But He's such a gentleman, so He's only going to be so, I'm not going to say be so involved, but we still have free will. So He's a gentleman. You're not going to be like, okay, it's your free will. This is one of the gifts. So you can do that. Now you call on me, you know, you invite me in, I got you. And there's sometimes that we don't know we need to invite Him in. And just like, all right, well, even through that, because like I said, I don't remember saying, oh, God, help me. I could have, but I don't remember. I just know that I didn't let the words leave my lips, but it was definitely an internal, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Or I need help. And I received it. It wasn't in the way that I liked, but it got done. And in that, I learned that there's more food to life than pizza and Italian food, right? I'm at 36 minutes. If you're still here, thank you. Thank you, because the way I don't know what I said before, oh goodness, Tangent. Hello, my name's Tangent. Tangent Nina Davis. That's who I am. But yeah, so, and that was a game changer for me. So, you know, with Marilyn, that's my mom's name, you know, with moms, with the internet, with the little brochures the nutritionist gave us, we certainly had to find some things that'll work. And I'm really gonna wrap this video up because I don't want it to get to 40. That's crazy. That's like a sermon. But so a couple of the foods that we found. For one, cooking yourself is always going to be like a top tier. Cooking for yourself is gonna always be a thing, right? Because there are certain seasonings. You know, you have your turmeric, your black pepper, your ginger, you know, your garlic powder, you know, onion powder, things like that, where you incorporate them in your food and your everyday life. It definitely helps. You know, it helps a lot, just with your overall health in general, right? Adding more greens, of course. Adding more greens, and swapping butter for olive oil, you know, little things like that. And if you get tired of cooking, I want to say, well, you know what? Before I go there, pull back on the red meat. Like, yeah, it's cool every now and then, but weekly, you know, unless you're trying to like build in bulk. And this is me simply talking for the people type 1, type 2. You know, if you don't have those issues, then, you know, you do what works for you. Although I feel like with red meat in general, it's like it kind of slows your healing down. Like, we realize that it's like, oh, okay, you don't bounce back as fast with red meat. You know, I thought that was interesting. I was like, you don't? I was like, I know people that build muscle and they go ham on that. It's like, no, not really. It's more chicken, salmon, you know, chicken, fish, things like that. So I was like, oh, a new discovery for me too. But yeah, so, you know, not as much red meat, you know, cut that out slowly but surely. You know, a lot of high protein items. Like I said, salmon's phenomenal. But even through treatment, I had to be careful with the fish intake. So chicken was big. When I tell you, I cook chicken every type of way. Every type of way, all right? Except frying. Frying it, I'm about to hit 40. Frying it is, frying it is, I'm not there yet. Like, I know how to do everything to season it and then actually putting it in there. Although fried chicken is not even what you're supposed to do, right? So I pretty much do all the things, you know, bake it, broil it all different ways, and, you know, just flavor it all different types of ways. So, you know, if you're cooking yourself, you know, try those things. If you're gonna go sausage, more like a turkey sausage, turkey Italian sausage, you know, just a lot of lean protein helps for sure. You know, chicken, fish, tons of veggies. Um, Tons of veggies. My alarm. What else? What else? And if you don't feel like cooking, Mediterranean food is awesome. A great alternative. A great alternative. You know, any cuisine that really sticks with using fresh ingredients is always good. Um, if you're a fast fooder, stop. Easier said than done, right? Like there are some fast food places that are healthier than others. One, I'm not going to comment because I no longer patronize them due to reasons that I'm not going to say, but I don't. So, yeah. If you see me in the street and you ask, I'll tell you, but I'm not putting it on here. So, yeah. But there aren't many. there it's really not many. So they have that, but ultimately cooking for yourself, Mediterranean food, Thai food. Thai food's really good, and yes, they have pastas, but they also have other things. Seaweed salad is good. Excuse me. Sushi. Sushi's good. Now, yes, sushi does still have rice, but there are other types you can get, or you can go there and not get the sushi. You can just get a stir fry with just chicken and veggies. You know, that's optional. Their soups are good. Pho is really good, really good. The broth is so fortifying, so it helps a lot. And these are just a couple of things. You can definitely look it up, do your research. What are some of the best things to eat when you're dealing with type 1 and or type 2 diabetes? What can help regulate your sugars? And it was, for me, it was a lot of that. Thank God. And shout out to my vegan friend and vegetarian friends that have also helped along the way. And Google University doing what it does. And just people sharing, even YouTube shorts, videos, and all that stuff. Just people sharing what they know, and that's really the point of this: share God's glory, as well as just getting some extra information out there, because a lot of people don't know. My friend, and intelligence level doesn't matter. Because this particular friend, and this is not to come for her or anything, of course, she has a master's. She has a master's in, I want to say, psychology, and like development. And, there's still something that she has dealt with. And some of the things I told her, she's like, wow, I didn't even think of that. I never knew that. And it's like, yeah, just little changes. And it's always us that love ice cream. As a fellow ice cream lover, like, I still like it. I pick and choose. Even now that I'm good, thank the Lord. I, after not eating or dealing with something for so long, I don't even feel the need to eat it. Like, I'll give me a nice little Chobani flip, and that right there, to me, that's ice cream. That is ice cream. That works. That works for me. Sweet, crunchy, and they got so many different flavors. Oh, they got so many different flavors. Oh, and they coming out with new ones all the time. Yes. So that's good. Smoothies, make your own. You can buy some too, just check the label. I always laugh now that I'm a label check. I always see people checking I'm like, look at you checking your nutrition facts. Weirdo. And now I'm that person. Yep, I'm her. Is her now. So, yeah, check them. It's by law they have to put that on there, and it's a reason. And you wonder, like, I wonder why this has to work. Why can't you just say, oh, look what this is? And it goes beyond allergies, people. So, especially as someone that has certain food allergies. So, yeah. But, smoothies, what else? Sorbet, and this is for the one that, because we always have the diabetics always have the worst sweet tooth. Like, isn't that what it is? I don't even know if I was always, yeah, I was, because I was a candy fiend. Oh man, I'm telling you, Skittles I tried Skittles, I want to say maybe some months ago, and the way my pupils dilated, I said, "Oh my Lord, what is in this?" Like what? Same with soda. Go ahead and get that up. You know, if you want a little fizz, get you some like fizzy water. What do you call it? The tonic water. Get you some of that. You just want to feel a little fizz. Chips. They have so many other healthier alternatives to chips now. I know Costco has a ton of them because I love their stuff. Trail mix is good. You know, like dry nuts, even very very lightly salted. Although some you really don't need the salt anyway. If you just want to get a little fancy yourself, you buy, you know, some plain ones. You know, put it on a baking sheet. Put you some cayenne, black pepper, and you know, some garlic powder. Like you can toss it in and then put it on there. Bake it for like, you know, 10 minutes. You'd be good to go. Have your own little personal trail mix. Boom, work that out. You want to add some dry fruit to it? Toss it in a bowl. You got your own Chex Mix. You know, like there's so many different things. That actually sounds really good. Maybe I'll make that sometime this week. But yeah, so there's just all types of different alternatives. I am at 46 minutes. Okay, so I'm really gonna shut this down now. I may even have to post it in two videos. We're still learning YouTube, so we'll see. We will see. But yeah, that's just a couple of tips, you know, for I always say my fellow diabetes peeps or diabetics, although I am no longer one, by God's grace and his glory. All the glory belongs to him. And yeah, there are alternatives. There are other options. So please do not think that you have to hold on to the taste or flavor of a specific food just to get by, because you don't, you know. Prayer still works also. So never stop praying, ever. Never stop praying. And it don't have to be on no fancy King James stuff. Although we love King James. We a KJV girly over here. We love it. We love KJV. Thou artist, hither and thence. Let's go. Turn up. Yep, we love it. We love it. But yeah, you know, there are alternatives. There's definitely more to life than our taste buds, for sure. So just keep that in mind, you know, next time you have to do a syringe, or, you know, I don't even know if people still do the syringes now. Like I said, there's so many different ways to do it now that are more convenient, but understand that it can change, you know. It's not a set in stone thing, you know. I even I don't know, I even feel like even the ones where it's like, oh, this runs in the family, and it's like, well, does it run in the family because people have yet to like, does it run in the family because people have yet to try to change it or want to do something different? Or is it like, oh yeah, this runs in the family because it's in our blood? I'm like, like I said, it took some years. It definitely took some years for that to heal within me, because when you're taking that type of medicine, any medicine you put in your body, you're altering something. Now if you're sick, okay, then, you know, prayerfully it's going to alter you to get better, right? But, you know, the constant years of those medicines, your body it'll change, it'll adapt. You won't even begin to make certain things that our bodies are naturally meant to make and produce because of certain medicines that you're taking. So just saying, man, just saying. Like I said, I'm no herbalist, no nurse, no doctor, no nada. There's no acronyms beyond my regular 4 names, thanks to being of Nigerian descent. So, but, you know, just saying, just someone here who has been through it, lived through it, and by God's amazing and beautiful grace have come out of it. So just here to share. And at 49 minutes, we're gonna end this because there's so much more, and I could say so much more. As you can see, your girl's a tangent. The talking will commence and continue. But Excuse me. Why did I hear that? I don't know where this burping is coming from. Like, am I hungry? Maybe. But anywho, thanks for listening. If you made it to the end, 50, yo, you a G. Like I said, I may just break this up in 2 parts. We will see how that works out. But yeah, just remember, just because a doctor has said it doesn't necessarily mean that it's set in stone. And God is big, real big, bigger than we even know. And if you don't believe that, ask him to show you who he is. Not no pompous stuff. Just like, you know what, God, just show me something where I know it's you. Show me where I know it is you, Father. Just show me. I just wanna see what's hype about, And if he doesn't personally, because he's not a person, he's spirit. If he personally doesn't show you, he will bring somebody to show you, or they'll say something. You'll be like, oh, just what? Like, yeah, because he definitely works through people still. But it's crazy how minutes go by when you're talking. Because what? 51? Okay, I'm gonna shut up for real now. But anyway, yeah. So just a heads up, just just hindsight. It's not always as it seems, and there's more than one way to get some stuff done. But I will be back again with another story, another testimony within the testimony. But thank you so much for listening. Love you, and God definitely loves you more. Don't forget. All right, bye.